Hi everyone, welcome to Cut and Sew Like a Pro challenge. This is the sewing video for the second task. I want to welcome you all back from the holiday. I hope you had a great time. For me it was stressful and work, but thank God we're relaxed and back. So for the sewing to continue, what I've done here is I used my pattern to cut out each piece just like this. Then I added allowance 0.75, but when I got to the half length, so this mark should indicate your half length, I added just half inch. So 0.75 half inch. The reason for that, so that when you sew your 0.75 from up to down, it will help you snatch the waist. And I also added, to complete my length, to the length that I wanted it to be. Then I put notch mark. So use your half length line to put notch mark, so that when you're sewing, you're going to just rhyme this notch with this notch and sew. So whatever excess up and down, that's like the excess. So I'll go ahead to sew each piece together. So I'll sew the lining, I'll also sew the cloth, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I've finished joining all the pieces together, like you can see now. Then I have also shaped my measurement. So after shaping, make sure you confirm that your waist measurement is your exact waist plus 1 inch, as in measuring it full like this. So it should, once you pull, it should be your waist plus 1 inch. So half inch will go in for your zip, because this is not laced back, this is with zip. So that's why you need it to be your exact waist measurement. So the next thing I'll be doing is to bring in my boning channel. And the way I want to do this is, what I did now, I made with satin, just like a 1.5 inch piece like this. So what I'll do is for the front, I want to have two boning. So one here, one here. Then for the back, I will have just one. So what I'm going to do now is to place this, and I want it to be an invisible boning channel. So I'm going to place this on the allowance, pick it this way, and sew. I'll sew here also. Now, because I want to have double boning, I'm going to come to the front and sew in between. You see this joining point? I'm going to sew in between, and it will be invisible. You won't see the stitch line. So let me explain again. Place your casing, your fabric for the boning channel. Place it like this. Sew the allowance together here and here. Then from the front part, I'm going to or so that you don't have any stitch in front, let me from here sew like this. Just sew this way, then come to this side, sew here, so that you don't have any stitch showing in front. So put your fabric this way. First of all, sew on your former stitch, just about it, then turn and sew the allowance together. Sew this allowance together. It will give room for 2 boning channel to enter. So I'll show you after I've done this. So this is what it looks like. So what I did, I placed it like this and sewed the middle, then sewed both ways, that there will be no stitch showing from the front like this. Then for the back, I did just one boning channel because they're quite close, so we don't need it two. So what I did, I just sewed this side and sewed this side. And note that I put paper stay on the satin to firm it up. So once I iron, everything will be smooth. Then for this back, I didn't make it to go all the way up because we don't need the boning to be at the shoulder side. So what I did, I stopped it halfway, then I sewed and sewed this way halfway. I started from here, sewed down, so that there will be no, as in to stop the boning from going all the way up. So there will be no stitch here. So when you're sewing, sew from here down. Only pick the two allowance and sew like this, sew like this, then sew down. Come to this side, sew like this, sew down like that. So this is the way the front be. You won't know that there is boning inside. So for the front, I have two channel for my boning. For the back, I have just one, and I also introduced a boning channel at the side because right now I've confirmed my measurement, so it's exactly what I want. So I put this makes it, give it a nice shape when you have boning at the side seam. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to cut my net, my illusion, and fix it. And the boning will be among the last thing that I'll be doing for the top part. So I'll fix my zip halfway, as in I'll fix my zip halfway, then make the remaining just dangle down. When I put my skirt, I'll continue with the zip. So I might have to cut the back neck down a bit, maybe like 2 inches, because most times the zip available in the market is not as long as what we want. So it's just to bring your back neck down so that it will accommodate it. So I'll be fixing my zip halfway. Then when I join my skirt, I'll continue with the fixing. Then I'll be cutting the drape for the neck area. So after that, I'll be joining it to the shoulder with the drape. So I'll let you see it also. So I have fixed the net to it. So the next thing I'll do now is to cut the drape for the neck. So what I'll do is to get a 1 yard fabric and just fold on bias this way. So cut the remaining off. So I'll fold like this again. So I'll measure. So I'll measure like 9 or 10 inches here and mark. So I'll just cut along that line. So the next thing I'll do is to sew. I'll sew this point and turn it out so here is neat before I will now start draping it on the neck. So just pin it on a mannequin like this. So I pin the edges, then start folding. So make sure that the folds align. So you see, so you do another one. So just follow the folds. So you see it's taking shape. So this last one, I'll fold like this. So this is what it looks like. So you cut off the excess on this side and it's mixed. So I'll go ahead to join the shoulder to the back shoulder. Then I'll put my sleeve, insert my boning and pipe the down. Fix the zip halfway before I'll now enter into the skirt. Okay, so I've finished inserting my boning and I've fixed the zip halfway. So I'll be ending up the top with weaving the base, the armpit and here, and then the armhole round the base and the zip side. So at this point you should do a fitting and see if it works so that you can make any adjustments before you continue. So this is for the top. Then for the skirt, cut your lining same size, whatever is on your fabric, cut it on the lining. Now the original style has a slit in front, but I don't think I want a slit in front, so I'll just go with a full skirt. So this is it. So I'll start by joining the zip allowance. Then I'll introduce my back dart. The front doesn't have any dart, so I'll introduce my back dart. Then I'll shape. Once I shape, I'll turn the down with the lining. So that's why I cut the lining and the cloth the same length. So I'll turn the base with the lining. Then I'll introduce crinoline at the base to take the lining inside. So I'll show you as I go along. Okay. Now after turning and sewing the lining and the clothes, put them together like this so that you can trim off from the up part, the zip part, because if you don't trim this off, you tend to have like a gap here. So just measure like 1 inch or 1.5 and trim it off just like this. It helps in balancing the back. Then also get the center back. So just like this, so that you can align the lining properly. So just like this. So you just round up so all these parts that are not equal, so you just trim them off. So the next thing I'll do now is to go and use the lining to turn this one. Then I'll put the crinoline. There are two types of ways of doing it. I can decide to turn the crinoline with the lining and sew it on this part, so the crinoline will be out. And because I'm gonna do it that way because of its damask, I don't want to do the one that the crinoline is inside. That's another method. But I'll be doing the one that the crinoline will be out, so that it will balance the down properly, so that the lining will not be coming out at all. So that will be for the skirt. When I finish, I'll show you. Then for the top, I'll be putting my bra cup. Actually, I've passed that stage, but I can still put it because I didn't put any foam while I was sewing the cup area. So I'll be attaching this foam. Now there are different types of foam in the market. There are the push-up type, and there's like 3 types. Then there's this one. This is the one that I have with me right now. So to make this one cup a bit, just get the midpoint from the down, just so like a curved dart at this point. So something like this, a curved dart. So you trim this off, you see that it will make it cup properly. So I'll be attaching it inside. So I can either sew it on the lining part, or I'll use gum to attach it to it, but I'll be sewing it to the lining part. So this is how it will look like. When you start the crinoline, fold the beginning like 2 inches, then sew round and overlap the end like this, so that when you fold it will be neat. Don't just put the crinoline side by side. No, make sure you fold the beginning and let it lap like this. So I'll be cutting. I'll cut so that they'll be on the same level, so that when you fold, you see it will be neat. So I'll be sewing it only to the lining part. I'll be sewing it only to the lining part. So I'll open it up like this. Okay, let me remove the pin here. So I'll wear the skirt in the machine and sew. You see, here will be folded like this. So I'll sew round only to the lining, that when you finish, it's going to enter in like this. It's going to enter in like this. Just half an inch will go in like this. Then it will be neat. There will be no sewing stitch on this part. So that's it for the skirt part. So for the top, I've already attached my cup and I've attached my sleeve. So the next thing I'll do after I finish running the crinoline, I'm going to wear it on a mannequin to join the up and the down. And note that your boning, even though the blouse is long, your boning should not be as long as the blouse. Let it end, because this blouse is longer than the normal blouse length, so that when it's because of the style, that's why we made it longer, so that it will not prevent you from sitting down properly. If the boning is too long, you cannot sit down properly. So just make your boning, because this one now is stopping around here. So just make the boning a comfortable blouse length level. Okay, so I'll be sewing the crinoline and joining it for you to see. Now this is how the crinoline will look like. So what I did, I turned both the lining and the cloth together and sewed the edge only to the lining part, so that from the front you're not seeing any sewing line, and it will take in like ½ inch of your cloth, so that when you finish ironing, this is what it will look like. Good finishing and neat sewing. So for the zip part, because our zip is going to be outside, I'm going to notch both just make sure that your zip allowance is the same length with the lining. what you have sewn, let it be the same length. Then I'll go ahead and notch this way. Then I'll notch. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because of my zip is going to end up being outside because of the way the style is. So you see they're on the same level, so that when you finish fixing your zip, this will be outside. So this is what will help you achieve that. So I'll go ahead and try it on so that I can join both of them together. This is how it looks like. So I'll be planting and here, so from this waist here, just like this. So I'll have to look in the mirror. Now we need to look a bit big because there's no zip at the back here. So see how safe step is. So I'm not going to iron yet. So after slanting, I'll wear it on the mannequin and sew both of them. I'll stitch it together. Then from there, I'll finish up the zip. Then I'll start the beading process. Now this is how it looks on the mannequin. So what I did, I used the lining to turn the edge so that it's neat. So I measured 8 inches from here and pinned the highest part. Then on this side, I got it so that when looking at it, you see that it's balanced. So I pinned the joining of the skirt to the joining of the top at the just like 1 inch from the base of the blouse. So if I stretch it out, you see that it will accommodate, because this mannequin is not my size. So what I'll do is when I'm sewing, I'm going to pin it at the back so that it's smooth like this. I'll now start hand tacking. So I'll do like an invisible stitch so it will even show at the top, and I'll also bead along. Then for the back side, you know, because the back is also slanted, so you see it's the same. Once you lay, you see if I do like this, you see it's not balanced. So get to the balanced point and pin. But if you can wear and somebody else help you to do it better. So just make sure that when you zip, these two edges are touching. So take your time to arrange it. Now when I tried it on, I noticed that it was a bit loose. So I'm going to use the zip to take it in more to the shape that I want. So I'll go ahead and hand tack and fix my zip to the end. But before, let me just show you how to bead. Okay, so tie the end of your thread, then just pass from then I'll tie. Then I'll cut this. I'll cut this so you see that it will be inside. Then I'll start putting. Beading is a repetitive process. So you're doing one thing many times. So I'll be putting big and small. For the small ones, I can use 3 for like the sand like bead. You see. So just scatter it around. For the next one I'll do, I'll so I can also introduce studs. As I go along. So this one is going to cover. So let me move downwards. So just continue the process as you go along. So I'll be beading this area, and I'm also going to bead fringe on the sleeves and bead the same thing around the sleeve too. Then I'll bead along the waistline, and that's it. I'll bead on the hand also. So that will complete the process of our second challenge. For finishing of the inside part of the dress is just to weave the down part of the blouse and weave the armpits, because that's the only 2 places that are revealed. And that will be it for our second task. Thanks for watching. Now this is the final look of the dress. So that we've beaded it all the way to the waistline. And you notice that beading is a repetitive process where you keep adding the same thing until it gets full. And you notice that I also introduced fringe. I used the bead to create fringe and added it bead by bead like this. And I added studs to this part, and I also bead at the hand part. So we've come to the end of the final stage of the second task. So I'll be wearing and doing the shoot from here, and see you in the next task.